What's up? What's up? What's up, Facebook fam? It is evening tea with Gail and friends time, and we're so excited you decided to hop on here and join us as we sip some tea and dish some tea. And so I'm excited about you guys joining us tonight. And as you guys always know, I started this because I miss my girlfriends during the pandemic, and they're so busy and so accomplished that they don't really have time to talk with me. Now I'm just messing with you. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. So, no, I started Evening Tea because of the pandemic, and we usually get together for each other's birthdays, and we celebrate each other's accomplishments and all those different kind of things. And when the pandemic hit, of course, us being safe and being social distances, we weren't able to get together for people's birthdays and stuff. So I decided that I wanted to bring us together, and we're just going to have open and honest conversations. And we actually forget that we're on here because we're so open and honest. And I just love that. So again, thank you guys so much for joining me here on Evening Tea with Gail. And I always will tell you what I'm drinking. If you guys know who I am definitely a tea connoisseur. And so tonight I'm drinking orange Talushi ginger tea from the Tea Lovers Cafe, and it is absolutely delicious. And I'm drinking it hot, and all I have in here is just a squeeze of lemon, and it is delicious. And again, that's from the Tea Lovers Cafe, and we will post that in there. And if you order from the Tea Lovers Cafe, please make sure that you tell them Gail Crowder sent you that way. And speaking of what you're drinking, Mr. Wanlow, what you having?
Well, let's see. First of all, I'm drinking out of a special cup. I love my cat.
Oh,
But I am drinking some aqua.
some water.
Some
That's all you're
water.
drinking.
I am not representing the Tea Lovers Cafe today. No, I am not representing Tea Lovers
Oh,
Cafe. But I am drinking some aqua. I need to kind of replenish, so I am drinking
okay.
water. Yeah.
Oh, this is you simple today, Miss Dr. Kiki Ramsey. What you drinking?
I got one of my favorite cups that was given to me. Eat, pray,
What?
hustle.
Oh, okay. Eat, pray,
I love
hustle.
that.
Eat, pray, hustle. And so I'm drinking one of my favorite Tea Lovers Cafe teas, which is cranberry bliss, because I just like that whole blissfulness of it all. And I also have a protein shake, but just what we sipping on.
Oh God. Okay, Deidre, what you drinking?
I'm drinking some H2O.
Oh, bougie.
You
Oh,
got that food?
Some Fiji bar. That's one of my
for
faves,
Fuji.
though. That is
Look,
one of my favorites.
Tawan just got water. You have Fuji. Huh? That's the bougie people drink. All right, all right.
Look,
Kim,
Fuji's for bougie.
I know Kim will join us in a few minutes. But again, I just want to say congratulations to a few people. So Juan, congratulations for publishing your first book under your company. Bravo to you. I am so proud of you. She has her own publishing
Thank you.
company, and she got one of her authors across the finish line. Congratulations. Congratulations to Miss Deidre for opening up her club on Clubhouse. Congratulations to you. No, I celebrate, honey. I congratulate. Just know that. I want to celebrate one of our sisters that's not on here, Sean, on her engagement.
Woo,
You know,
woo.
she finally can get it across the finish line. So we're excited for her. Congratulations to Kiki Ramsey. You're gonna be indoctored. What? How do you say it?
Inducted.
Inducted. See,
Yes.
into tell them the name of the place because I'll mess it up.
It's called the Boucher Society, and
Because
it's a
I was gonna call it the
society.
Bougie Society.
You know what? It's called the Boucher Society in honor of the first person who got his doctorate degree from Yale, and it's a prestigious alumni society of Yale, Howard, our school, and a couple other schools. So
Well, congratulations to you, my sister. I am so
Congratulations.
excited for you. And we want to wish our sister Kim, who's blacked out right now, a very happy birthday. She celebrated her birthday on Tuesday.
Happy
With
birthday.
birthday to you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. No, get on T, huh? Get on right. The right. That's not your gift, Kiki. You're a teacher. Don't do it. I'm the only real singer on. Look, I'm the only real singer on here. That's when Chris is on here.
Y'all don't believe her.
Mhm.
Don't
That's
believe
the truth. That's
Don't
the
believe
truth. That is
I
the
love
truth.
these self-proclaimed folks.
Story, and she's sticking to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
she does stick to it. She does stick to it. So,
Well,
Okay.
I surround myself with positive women, but when it comes to all of my talents, they are haters. So just know they are haters. When
Oh,
it comes
my
to my
goodness
gift for
gracious.
voice, they are haters, right? I have sang with some of the best through
Oh,
Chris.
my goodness.
I have. But anyway,
But she's probably telling the truth because in her mind, she probably has done that.
You know
whatever.
that
You guys, thank you so much for joining us. Y'all have to excuse them. We're waiting on Lisa to join us. But anyway, in honor of Women's Month, right? I wanted to start off by just asking the question, as powerful African American women that are doing things, we're definitely leaders and not followers. And a lot of you guys have trailblazers that I admire, and I admire each and every last one of you for different things. And we support each other, we rock with each other. But if you had to name one person that you admire, who would that be and why? Really quick. Another powerful woman that you admire and why?
Okay, when you say another powerful woman, do you necessarily, are you talking about in powerful women that other women know about, or just a powerful
It
woman
doesn't matter.
on our definition? Okay, I just want to make sure before.
It doesn't matter.
Well, since nobody said anything, there are a couple for me, but the one who I admire the most, and she is deceased, but it would be my grandmother. Just for all the things that she has instilled in me. I mean, everybody know I love to cook. I learned that from my grandmother. I have excellent hospitality gifts and talents. I got that from my grandmother. So, she passed down a lot of things, wisdom. I got my sharp tongue from my grandmother. But what I love most about my grandmother was she truly was the matriarch on both sides of the family. She became the matriarch. She was the matriarch on her side, but became it on my grandfather's side, which I think that's phenomenal when you can go across the family lines and do that. And just how she could bring people together, solve their issues, be there for them. She was the social worker, not even knowing what the social worker was, the therapist without knowing the therapist. And no matter what was going on, you had a baby, got married, Silas would bake the cake, do everything, and she would make it nice for you on whatever budget you had. And I just like how she just instilled so much in me and my mom. And so that is the most powerful woman to me because I have her DNA and she left that with me. So
you about to make me cry, girl.
And before she died, the
Kelly Smith says, "Good day, ladies, and congratulations to all you women for Women's Month." Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much for joining. Kiki, you want to go next, or who wants to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm in the same vein as Tawan as my mom, and I think a lot of times, look at Kim. Is that Kim?
Hi, Kimmy Kim. Hi.
Hi.
We got a camster in the house.
Yeah. T.
Oh, you gonna be on tea? You on evening tea? Okay.
He's gonna be on evening tea for a minute until he act up, and then we have to say goodbye.
Yes, that's how I be. I was gonna say my mom. I said, I tell the story of my mom and her addiction and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, all that I went through with my mom and just everything made me who I am today. And regardless of what her problems were, because we all have problems, I loved her so dearly. And this year would have been 12 years since her passing, and there's not a day or a year that goes by that I don't think about her and wish she was here to just see all the things that I, have done in my life, and meet her grandkids and stuff like that. And so she was really, she instilled that perseverance in me, just by the things that we went through as mother and daughter. So that is who I admire the most.
Amen. Okay, Deidre, you want to go next, and then I'll tell Lisa, catch Lisa up to speed.
Okay, well, I would agree. I would say my mom. I have two, but I'm going to say my mom because my mom was real gangster, and I was real. No, seriously. Like when I was younger, I was the pushover, and she put it in me. Don't let nobody take over you. And she was so sharp. She was a spender and a saver, and it was just like when she left here, our family was like, "What are we going to do now?" But she was like that backbone. You know how you had that backbone, like she could cuss you out and knew how to cuss. When she cussed you out, you would bleed. And when she hit you, so she is my first one. The second one is our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. I truly adore her because same thing, she got that gas in her. She used it when she needed. So they're my two. I know you said one, but I had to go with both of them.
Okay, no, I'm good. What about you, Lisa?
What are we?
We're talking about Women's History Month. Who do you admire and why?
Well, I think I'm going to go along with everybody else. My mom is a beast. Okay. She, we grew up at a time where, in the neighborhood, you beat the kids in the neighborhood. If they were bad, she would, she laid it on them. I grew up around a whole lot of boys, and she would get you. And then when they went home, she told their mama and they got it again. So that's kind of how I was raised. And my mother, as much as she was a disciplinarian, everybody still wanted to come on my house, which kind of showed me that, okay, kids want that kind of structure. So, I get criticized for it sometimes, but structure is good and they want it. And my mother is she was just a bomb, whether when she was married, then she was single, she was cutting her own grass and doing all her own stuff. So that's where I learned that, okay, well, you don't always have somebody there to help you. It's no excuses. You don't need somebody to do this necessarily for you. It's nice. But I had to adjust because I learned from my mother how to do it myself on a lot of, with a lot of things. So I had to adjust when I got married, to, backing off a little bit. Cause I was like, I got this, cause my mother had it. So I didn't know, I didn't think, and it wasn't anything against him. It was just kind of like, but I mean, I could do it. I could cut the grass. I could take out the trash. It's no big deal, but yes, my mother is forever. That's my rock. She's like the center point of everybody in the family. When something goes down or we lose a family member, they call on my mom to make sure we do things properly. So I'm nervous because it's like, okay, so when something happens with my mom, are y'all gonna look to me? Because I don't know.
But you know what? You know what? You got it. Because I didn't think I got it until my mother passed away. I got it. But I will end by saying the person that I admire the most is my grandmother. My grandmother lived to be 100 years old. She only had an 8th grade education. She started off at Kelly Air Force Base in the mail room and cleaning up, and she worked her way up to be the first Black aircraft controller. She knew how to order all the parts for a DC-10, and before she retired, they named a building after her. And so I admire her because she was a tiny woman, but a powerful, smart woman. And anybody with an 8th grade education that can go from sweeping floors to getting a building named after them, and also being homeless with her mom and dad for years. They just went from town to town, was homeless, and ended up owning over 17 properties. That's a bad chick.
Yeah,
that's a bad chick with an 8th grade education. And I always say, how can I not be successful with a grandmother like that with an 8th grade education? And I got all this college education and all these coaches and all of this stuff going on. And so for me, it is nobody famous. She's not famous to a lot of people, but she's famous to me.
That's right.
So I thank you guys for sharing that because, our next Even Tea won't be there. So let's move on. with Lisa and Tawan's grandmother being heavy disciplinarians. My mama was a disciplinarian, but let's talk about Kirk Franklin and his son. Talk about Kirk. Look, Kiki's sipping. Now, for me, if I was Kirk Franklin, he would have got the same exact thing. Because for one, you being disrespectful. I don't care. I got a 28-year-old, a 19-year-old, and 2 girls that's one about to be 13 and one is 11. Ooh. If you ever talk about what you're gonna do to me.
You know what? I watched that. I watched the interview that Kirk Franklin, his wife, had on Tamron Hall. And you know what? They were saying something without saying something.
They were saying
what they were saying was that boy got issues. They didn't give it a name, but I know there's a name for it. They just didn't name it on that interview. And I respect that because that's their family business. And so, and they've been dealing with his issues
for years.
For years. I suspect that he probably has some mental health issues going on, and that causes him to, them to just have a really, tumultuous relationship. But they didn't call it that. But that's what I suspect. Well, I tried to read between the lines, and it just seems like it has been very difficult for them throughout these years. And I know, I mean, as a mom, right? When your child does that to you, I don't care if you're the Pope. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to keep your cool when your child is talking to you that way. But that ain't the first time. No. And they go for periods without talking, and it's probably because of that. So you call me asking me for something, I might not be willing to give it to you. Now you gone.
Yeah. And then he had an ulterior motive to record it anyway.
Oh, he did.
And like you said, he already knew how his dad was going to react. Yep. And that's the reason why he recorded it, because he wanted to put him out on Front Street. But I don't care, like you said, I don't care who you are. When your child pushes you, and I got teenagers. Trust and believe me, I love the Lord, and but sometimes they send you there. Me and Tawan talked about this. She's like, her girls.
I got a 3-year-old, and she sent me down.
Yeah, 3-year-old. Yeah, look, them girls though. It's funny. We just had a conversation. I had one with Mark Clark about this because we were talking about the power shut up, and I was telling him that I was a yeller as a child, and I saw myself in that because I said the boy was 33 years old, and disrespect is huge for me. So I can see I've slipped. I've had some slippage. It's some things that I was.
I didn't have more than one slippage. I didn't have some punches.
Oh, I get it. At the same time, I said it's like I'm trying to do better. Like when I wrote The Power Shut Up, I said, look, I do know that there are times when I didn't have to say or whatever. I could have done it differently. Of course, it's hindsight, and I'm still struggling with that because I'm still saying, I will probably do the same thing, but I'm trying to check myself because once I said, well, I could have done this differently, my kids are probably saying, oh, so now you see the light. Now you didn't have to yell. But, I get it that sometimes different, kids are different. So with my son, I didn't have to do certain things. With my daughter, she was a little different. She tried me every chance she got. She was cute, though. She's really cute, though. But with Cameron wasn't that kind of child that you really needed to yell or whatever with. But once you in that zone, sometimes it's one for all. Hey, none of y'all hurt me too, so let me just bellow out 10, and somebody's feelings might get hurt. But I do know that we need to sometimes bring that down. And sometimes they don't hear you when you're responding that way, and it's kind of hard to push respect when we're not supposed to let them get us off of, if I'm making sense. We're not supposed to let them, or anybody for that matter, take us out of our character or whatever. But I do understand going there. And I've been there. So I'm in the middle because it's like, I'm
not in the middle.
I can't be that
I'm
mad at
very
you, but I
clear
do know we need to do better. So
that I help facilitate to get you here, and you're not gonna be disrespectful to me. I'm very
like,
clear
Mama,
about that.
I brought you into this world. I'm gonna
world.
take you out.
Take
Really?
you out.
You about to kill me? For real?
well, wait a minute though. You know, when I was on the interview with Mark Clark, you know, he said back then, when your parents, that's how we were raised. And when they said it, they meant it. So
Yeah.
when we grew up, we didn't even try. It was like, I'm not doing that because my mother don't play. But nowadays, the kids are of the mindset, well, let me see. What you gonna do? Let me try.
Yeah.
They want you to prove it. And then we feel like, oh, well, I know there were times when I was like, oh, I didn't do this to my mother. So we on some different stuff today.
Right.
And so I had to break out with some different stuff. And my mother was like, you don't have to do that. I said, oh no, you don't live with this one. You take, I even sent mine to go stay with your grandmother. And a year later she was back because I said, oh, so you told me I didn't need to do this. And I heard you had some slippage too. So
yeah.
I think, hello, Johanna. Hi, Jackie. How are you guys? She said, yes, Lord. Jackie said, yes, Lord. No, it is. And I understand why Kirk Franklin, came out and apologized, because we all have been there at some point in time. It is something that is embarrassing, but I do think that his son set out to embarrass him.
Yeah.
I really feel that way.
That's the sad part, is that his son,
he set him up. Yeah.
He set him up. And that's the sad part about the whole matter. Because, those things should stay with the family, especially if we've been dealing with this for so long. And like I say, I get it. I mean, as a parent, when you do slip up, like I know myself, when I do slip up, I feel sad about it afterwards. I be like, dang, I could have done better. Like
a little while afterwards, right?
My baby girl tonight.
Not right away.
Well, I mean, for me,
not for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be like, shoot, I should have went all the way in and then be remorseful.
Well, I mean, it might be like that if once they're older, but like for my babies, if I yell or something,
that's different. That's different. But these grown people around here, because see that my boys and my girls now are standing eye to eye with me, and I'll be like, oh no. Not that they ever, when they was younger, when Justin was like 15 or whatever they call themselves, smelling himself, I had to knock him out. Joshua was about 14. He hit the counter and was outside in 10-degree weather. Yeah. No, seriously, because you're not going to never whoop me and then I'm going to keep a roof over your head. No.
Yeah. No. Yeah. When they're older, and this person is grown. He 30.
Grown.
So he real grown,
he's over 30, I think. Yeah.
So it's like,
hey, legal. I know my rule was if we have a situation and the police have to come and they remove me from my home, you might not want to be here when I get back, because I'm going to tell them to wait outside, because I'm about to give you a reason to take me away. So I said that will be the last day you lay your head on a pillow in my home if I get removed from my house. So
let me tell you, the situation with Joshua, I'm not gonna lie. His head hit that counter. My brother taught me one thing: wherever the head will go, the body will follow. And he was looking at me with his fist balled up. Oh, we gonna go. I knocked him cold out. I put him outside. He had on a white beater and some boxer shorts, no shoes, no nothing, because you wasn't leaving with nothing I bought. I changed my clothes. I was jail ready.
Ready for when they came.
When they came, because you weren't gonna take me with my good stuff on. I was jail ready.
That's right.
well,
you're not gonna whoop me.
She said she's drinking water this evening. Yes, girl, nourish your body.
I was jail ready, and I waited, and I called my husband. Like, where is he? I said, I don't know. He said, Gail, 10 degrees. Okay, and see that cold kept that knot from growing from that counter.
Oh Lord.
Mm-hmm.
But they do try you.
Kirk Franklin, I mean, he better than me, because I'd have been wherever he was. I'd have been there. It ain't no, you talking to me like that? Like, it's me. This is me. I would wherever he was, and it would have went down. Trust me, it would have, because the way we like my mom is going, and I still fear her. And I'm number 10 of 11, and the boys, everybody feared my mom because my mom did not play.
Right.
So
Same age.
for that to have happened, I never sassed my mom or nothing like that. I didn't with my mom.
That's right.
Mhm.
I raised my daughter the same way, and
Right.
yet it was strict. And see, the thing is, you got to let them know, you got to instill fear. My mom always said, you only fear two people, me and God. So for that to go down like that, I mean, and then for him to record it, come on now.
Yeah.
But you know what the sad part is?
But
is
it's definitely more to it.
How people condemned.
Go ahead, Kim.
I said what was sad was how people condemned Kurt Franklin for what he, his slippage, like, well, he's supposed to be a Christian and da 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 da. It's like he's a believer, but he's also a man who's been disrespected, like we've all said. And there's no way that they would not have reacted the same way. Like, yes, there's a level or a standard we hold, leaders or those are mentors or people we hold in high esteem to a level of like, they almost can be, they can have no mistakes. They can't live a life outside of what we see them as. But that was like to condemn him, to put him down, like, to question who he is as a man.
Kim, we can't hear. Go
My,
ahead. No, we can hear now, Kim. He was helping you.
oh, thank you, Cam. Thank you, baby. But just the whole, like that whole piece of like how people were putting him down, that was sad.
But see, at that moment, he was not Kurt Franklin, the artist. He was
Correct.
Kurt Franklin, the dad,
father.
being disrespectful. And that's what people forget.
Correct.
People get so churchy and holy. Everybody makes mistakes. And if my child was talking to me that way, he would have got the same thing. Like Deidre said, plus more, because I would have went to visit him. You see what I'm saying?
Can you imagine Reggie Butler? Oh
my God. Gilbert too. No, you're not going to be that way. No. And then you're gonna, what you was doing because you recorded it, because you knew what reaction you was gonna get because you have done it before. Like Kiki said, you've done it before. Right. Yes, that is what we need these days. These young people are so disrespectful. That's what Jackie said. You're right. They are disrespectful.
But you know what? Part of it is that the when you think about like the legal parts of it, authority, like parental authority, has really been removed from the house. Like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, otherwise you're going to jail. And the children, in a sense, have an idea that they can do that. So that, if you hit me, I'm going to call the police. If you do this, I'm going to call the police. You do that.
Exactly.
But then they want us to put our children in check. It's like you all can't have it both ways. We either have the authority to discipline and correct our children, or we don't.
I'm not talking about abusing anybody, but
but you ain't even gotta abuse them, and they will send you to jail for the lightest thing.
I have made it very clear to the ones that tap at this house. This is the beat.
What your mama say? This
is the beat. When you want to make your own tune, you're going to be grown or gone, because I wish you would tell me I'm going to call the cops on me. I
done told them I will call them for you because they're going to need to be here in a minute. So, yeah.
What's funny is when I was a social worker, I was like, I'm the social worker. I'm call us, call me.
That's good.
I am CPS.
That's good. Paul Tomaze was like, oh.
Yeah, like call me. They gonna route the call to me. Now what? So, yeah, little child.
I didn't think about that. That's good. Who's they gonna call me?
They're gonna route the call to me because I am CPS. Now what?
Yes, I love it. Okay.
And look, and then God mama's CPS too. So what's up? What you gonna do?
Because at the end of the day, if we don't manage our children, they're going to manage them for us. And in a space where, as we see today, our children have been killed. They've been, put into jail quicker. Like, that's ridiculous. So you all can't have it. Like, you can't have parental authority, but then shame us if we don't put things in order. Like, it's an oxymoron.
It is.
I just think that there's an emphasis on mental illness, and when that is very prevalent, then you are limited in what you can do. And so when these interactions happen, they do this to take you over the edge and stuff like that. And I was reading some of the comments, and so some people were like, that's Kirk. He was right to do that. And I read some comments that said, I'm tired of y'all taking up for people who are abusing our Black men. This clearly was an abuse of power and stuff like that, and this is why our Black men are so or can be messed up these days. And I was thinking about both ways, and I get the fact that this probably is not the way Kirk wanted to respond, but in the moment, right? What you gonna do? Like, I mean, we all have been there in the moment, and you've been human. So I think for anybody who condemns him for his actions, they might be robots or they might not have children. Because when you understand and you've had children and you've had them to test your last little bit of nerves that you have left. Yeah. And you've been patient and you've tried and you work and you love them and everything like that. And then they test that last bit of nerves. It's just like, dang, I done all this for you in your whole life, and this is what I get in return. And you are a grown man, so you know better.
Yes.
We're not talking about a child. And so I think people are quick to, have this cancel culture, right? Like, especially in the African-American, culture, we quick to cancel people. But we need to put ourselves in other people's shoes and stop trying to cancel people and start trying to understand what people go through in this life, because everybody is human.
Yes. And somebody say he without Jackie say he without sin, let him cast the first stone. And I agree. And Kurt Kurt is human, and I sent him a message. I don't know if he ever see it, but I told him I totally understand where he was. He don't need to dip his head. I'm still gonna buy his music and rock with him. That's what I told him.
But I think also too, people made comments about a piece of something they heard. We didn't know what happened beforehand, nor do we know what happened afterwards. So it's very hard for me to give a comment about what Kirk Franklin should have did when I don't know what preceded beforehand. I don't know how bad the person might have cussed him out, or you just really don't know.
They also got the therapist on the line after that.
Right, I do. He said that in the interview.
Yeah. Yes. So I mean,
So, and like Kiki said, there is some underlying issues with the son that they've been dealing with for a long time. And I he's still his father, and he could have went on there and revealed it and say the boy, whatever.
He could have done that. He did not do that. Because he loves him. And that's why like, that's why I rock with him like that, because he could have been like, you know what? Forget it. You want to air out our laundry for everybody to hear. Let me tell everybody about this mental illness that you got. Let me tell everybody about what you done. But he didn't do that because he loves his son, and it was a moment that he had. And I just wish people just wasn't so quick to be so judgy about people and not really know the whole story.
Yeah.
But it is amazing how Christians are so judgmental. Christians so judgmental.
The worst.
Christians so judgmental.
The worst.
I mean, they are the worst. They act like they live in, they don't live in glass houses. They have so.
We
are, because we Christian too, and we judgmental too.
Yeah.
Right. and I try to catch myself, right? Like, because I understand that people are human. I did see this one meme, this one post that was so funny. It was like, can't nothing make me ever cancel Kirk Franklin. I put that on Melodies of Heaven.
Well, we're gonna end with that one. I just want to say this. Did y'all know what I want to go to something else. Did y'all know your boy Donald Trump building his own social media platform?
I can.
Look how y'all he building his own social media platform because he's saying that people people, since they blocked him from all the social media platforms, he can have 7 million people on his platform the day
And there's
he
nothing
opened it
else.
up.
He has nothing else to do. Really, nothing else. Nothing else he can do.
Well, they say he's done the most miraculous thing that he could ever do. He became the president without any experience. So what else do we have to do but go build a platform for social media?
I seen somewhere where it said your first government job should not be in the White House.
It should not. Unless, not as the president anyway. Not as the president.
They say your first government job should not be at the White House. Lord have mercy. I feel like that, but he is building a social media platform.
I'm sure there's a fee involved.
But he's also building it with the people's money that he stole when he went out and he was doing all these.
That I cannot.
Whose phone is that?
I cannot.
Deidre, mute yourself, please.
Is that Apple? Is that Apple?
Yeah, that's that Coke phone. She don't even know how to mute Coke phone. Anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to know what y'all thought about it, because when I heard about it, I was like, Jesus, be a fence. Be a whole fence. Because he going to have a social media platform, and you know he going to organize his people. That coat, he got a coat too.
Yeah, that's kind of dangerous to me. So
that is dangerous. Very dangerous. Yep. That's very dangerous. But he's going to build his own.
It's regulated by FDIC and everybody else, so he can get on there and try to act like a fool all he wants. It can still be taken down. I don't care how much money he puts into it. He still got to follow government regulations and policies and rules. So he's still not above that. I know he likes to think he is, but you're no longer in the White House. So all those little protections you had are gone, and you're going to have to follow the rules in some places. So whatever.
What's going to be interesting is if Apple and Android is going to carry the app and the social media platform, or yeah, that's going to be interesting, because he, they took him off of all. He took that one Parler, the one that everybody was on organizing. They took that off of all of the platforms. So it's going to be interesting if they allow his thing on the platform to be, searched.
I think they brought that back. Didn't it come back, Carla?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think it came back. I'm not sure.
Really? Because they had taken it offline.
I remember.
They done took it, brought it back. Jesus.
I ain't sure. Don't quote me, but he should be first. I mean,
really?
It's so peaceful without him being
yeah, I don't want. I wonder what the fee is. They're gonna have to pay $50 to be. I mean, because there's money involved somewhere.
You know that, Lisa. You know that.
Yeah.
You know.
So I mean, that's gonna cancel out some people already, because some people $50.
You think you're gonna charge?
Let me stop while I'm ahead, but yeah, some of them people they not gonna be able to do that. So okay. Let me stop.
Okay. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this one? Your boy Derrick Jackson. Y'all know who Derrick Jackson is? Derrick Jackson is this big time.
You do know who he is now.
You do. Y'all don't know who Derrick Jackson. Derrick Jackson is this big time relationship expert that has I don't know how many millions of followers, and he has been cheating on his wife for over a year. Had a secret, over a year. Had a secret apartment, but decided to bring all the mistresses to the house while his wife was gone and sleep with them in their bed. And then he had the audacity to do an apology and talk about himself in the third person.
Narcissist.
Yeah, he is a narcissist to the big degree. But this was the thing, was his wife was on there when he was doing this apology in the third person, right? Because he was like, yes, he shouldn't have done that. That's how he was talking. Not I should have done that. He's talking in the third person. Yeah. And his wife was sitting there holding his hand, and she had on a bonnet, and she just looked like, oh, that was a hat?
It was a hat. They kept calling it a bonnet, but it was a hat.
It looked like a bonnet.
It was a hat.
Oh,
It was a crochet
yeah, we
hat.
can't hear you. We can't.
Said that this was a bonnet. To her, it was like something like almost.
She
like
said,
armor of God.
yeah, armor of salvation.
Yeah,
But it was a knit. It was a knit hat. It was just a knit
Yeah,
hat.
it was a knit hat.
It was a knit hat.
I
But
thought
she-
it was a
but you-
bonnet.
She told y'all it wasn't no bonnet. If y'all listen to that interview, she said it wasn't no bonnet. She don't have no bonnet on. I was like, well, she do have a point there. She had a hat on. All right, little boy, you didn't see that video. But he like, no, it was a bonnet. No, it was a hat.
But here's the thing. So that detracted so many people though, right? Because what we need to be talking about is Derek Jackson and his trifling self, because he has all these women where he is my husband says he's pandering, you know, to women, saying that you shouldn't accept a guy who cheats on you. And he also went in on John Gray.
Yep.
Hard. When John Gray got caught cheating, but doing the same thing. Like he was literally doing the same thing at the same time.
He brought these mistresses to his house and slept with them.
I got one word for that. Nasty. Just nasty.
I don't know what word that means. The trife.
That's
Nasty.
like and his wife, you know, and a lot of women are going on about his wife and how she looked and all this kind of thing. She should have got herself all together and dolled up to be on the camera with him or whatever. My thoughts is y'all shouldn't be coming after her. She's another woman that's hurt. Her husband is known around the world, all of these different, and she's another hurt woman. And she was trying to, I think she was trying to be strong to sit by him. And I know she's a woman of faith, because just from what the stuff and how she reacted, she said that she separated herself for a couple of months just to get herself together and all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, we was focused so much on her bonnet and how she was looking and all that kind of stuff, instead of focusing on this person has misled millions, have tore down another person that cheated and fell from grace and all of this kind of stuff. And you've been doing it along with John Gray at the same exact time, but you thought you could come for him. You telling all these women what they shouldn't be doing and what they shouldn't be tolerating or whatever, but then you want to turn around and ask your wife to tolerate what you tell people not to tolerate. I have issues with that.
And then you want to talk in the third person. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
it ain't
that.
Look at Tawan.
It's like we said, you know what? Y'all, you know what? Kiki shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, that's how he was talking.
She shouldn't have done it. She got to pay for her sins. She know that, though. Kiki shouldn't have done that. How the heck? I sound ridiculous.
He was talking in the third person.
We should hold a whole conversation in third person. So you say that and I say, Lisa, get her. Lisa, get her. Lisa, tell Kiki, stop saying that.
It's like my thing is this. Here's my thing. We as women, first of all, I'm speaking from a married person, right? And so that's why I'm glad that there's other people on here that are, you know, that are single and stuff like that. Because I know, like, people think, oh, married people, you know, one way and stuff like that. We always have to just be careful, all of us, on who we listen to and who we let pour into us. And we also can't put people on this high pedestal, because what I know for sure is people will always disappoint you. People will always fall, because people are human, right? Like, people are human beings. We are all human beings. And I'm glad I learned my lesson about this in my relationship a long time ago. You know, I thought I was all the way up here, but when all actuality, me and my husband were equal, but my head was up here, and I had to fall a couple of times to get myself together to realize that, I mean, I can't be acting like this. And so people will always disappoint you. And that's what I know to be true. And so a lot of people who trusted him and put all their hopes in him because he was being a fraud, right? Because he was living a different life. But he's human at the end of the day, so he's willing to make mistakes. Now I don't know what his redemption plan is and how he's gonna, fix it for himself. But at the end of the day, he's gonna end up being okay. I'm just
the thing is that I could have accepted his apology if he wouldn't have been talking in the third person, like he wasn't talking to he was talking to somebody else. See, you didn't take no ownership to that. And I get reamed a lot, especially on a lot of my lives, because women come into my inbox and tell me, you be telling your business and you be bashing your marriage or what. I'm like, no. I'm telling the truth. I tell when I got up in the BSB and said, y'all, I cussed Gail out before I got here. I don't want the devil to be hindering anything playing in my head. Whenever we not in a good space, I say it. I don't try to. Yes, I'm in the relationship space, but I want people to also know that I'm not perfect. That we have had all kind of things that went on in our marriage, but I don't hide that. I use that to help someone else, right? And so when people say, oh, you just be bashing your marriage and all this kind of stuff and bashing this, and I was like, no, I don't. If it comes across that way, I'm sorry, but I don't want anything to ever be like, oh, did you hear about Gail and Gil, whatever. I'm going to tell it before anybody else get to tell it, because you're going to hear it straight from me.
Right.
And I think,
I'm going to say this about him. Everybody's saying that he was a fraud. He was literally giving truth because he was speaking his truth. He just didn't tell you it was his truth. He was giving you good insight about what a cheater does and what a man does, because he was speaking from experience and really what he does. So you shouldn't feel bamboozled because the man gave you the play right out the playbook that he was doing. So what you mad about? He's telling you how the game is played. He just didn't own it.
I mean,
he was playing it. But Kiki, I want to ask you a question that you said, Kiki. Kiki, you said, how's he doing redemption? This is funny. He said he found God. He got saved. But then I was like, you got saved, but then you said you was mad at God. This is why you started doing what you was doing. Look at narcissists. Get the story together. Was it in the first person you got saved, or was it in the third person that I was confused about which one of his persons?
Right. Which one of you is saved? Which one of you is saved? Okay. Let me talk to the one that ain't. Okay.
Tony say good point. Johanna say she believed the wife is being abused. She believes the wife is abused.
Wow. That she looks so sad.
Like they have to be abused. Why?
You know what? I didn't get that from her. I don't know why. I heard people saying that. I didn't feel that she was abused. I felt that she was embarrassed and she was tired. And actually, I felt the anger to the people as opposed to him. She seemed annoyed with him, and she seemed like, why we gotta do all this on social media, but I know you trying to redeem yourself. She seemed annoyed with him, but almost attacking people who were coming in, like very defensive, like, don't call me stupid. I already knew this. Y'all the only ones who didn't know this. So she had an anger about her, but I didn't take it as that she didn't seem abused to me. She seemed like she was just sick and tired of this nonsense, because she's known that this has been going on a minute, and now she decided to come back in. But when you come back into it, and because he's such a public figure, she's annoyed that now she got to deal with the public about something that's really just personal for her. You know what I'm saying?
It sucks, right? Like this. Yeah. I mean, but when you live your life, right? When you live your life in the spotlight, there is a higher standard for what you're going to be held accountable to, because don't nobody know my stuff, right? Like I ain't on TV. So what happened to my house?
I know
You know what I'm saying?
Kiki, you are so dumb.
Well, but Kiki,
That's the truth. I
but
ain't got to be
Kiki,
telling
I think
nobody.
that's what she felt though.
It's
She was
right.
feeling like, okay, I know he out there, but
Oh.
I did what I'm supposed to do, and I ain't on TV. So she felt like, well, I got to do all this because I saw him pull up the YouTube and he was setting it up while she was sitting there, and she was just kind of looking at him like, really, really. I mean, when is this gonna be over so I can go back and lay down? She looked like she woke up long enough for him to do it, but she really looked like she was annoyed with him, not abused. She just looked like, this is so stupid. And I really don't care what y'all think no more because I put him through his own whatever she considered his hell from her, and she was like, I forgave him. So what is the problem? That's what she looked like to me. She didn't look
Jackie Brown says, I'm getting married Saturday and I listen to you, sis. Gail, me and my soon-to-be husband, thank God for godly women that help people like us.
That's good.
No, like you ladies.
Thank you.
Man, congratulations.
No, yeah, like you ladies.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jackie.
Congratulations, Jackie.
Yeah.
Welcome to the club. Joanna, look the
Yeah.
way he was holding her arm. There's the other woman. Somebody says, Johanna says up to 3 women now that he didn't cheated with. Jesus.
And then he said, over the years,
He said over 12 years
he
though.
said over 12 years, I've been cheating. And he was like, and it wasn't just, a casual thing. I was in a
He said it was-
relationship.
Yeah,
So
he did.
who entangled now? He probably talked about Jada when she was entangled too.
He
Yeah, he probably did.
He did, Kiki.
You know
He did have some comments about the entanglement. He did actually,
thing is,
believe it or not.
he's actively like that. That's what makes me sick about him is that it wasn't just one time. So you actively was having this other relationship with these other women over the years we were married actively while this major relationship.
Because he made national news with this.
Oh, he did. And telling people not to cheat, telling women not to tolerate a man who cheats, not to do this. But now
you want your wife to sit there and grin with you and hold your hand as you talk in the third person and apologize.
And as he's explaining to us about what he did also say, because this band was gonna make money. They're gonna make this, and he's gonna make money. Because in his explanation, he said, "And did you get my book from Hurt to Heal? How to Heal Together?"
Yes, he did.
Did he not market? I said, well, guess what? That's what I'm not gonna take away from him. He's gonna figure out how to spin this, and he's gonna figure out how he can continue to monetize and do what he do because he's a
people gonna buy it, and people gonna buy it.
But he's very disingenuous. That's very disingenuous, though, right?
They're gonna buy it, and it's horrible that they're gonna buy it. And when every last one of us have books on here, and we can't sell them, and they good books and we're living the right life. That just makes me, girl. I'm gonna go to the next thing before I say something crazy.
They need to piss her off.
It just made me mad. I want to talk about something that probably nobody cares about, but I cared about it. Mike Tyson and Holyfield is about to fight, right? My question to you is, do you think that they are going back in the ring for money, or do you think they're going back in the ring because that's still their passion and they haven't?
Or it's about the ducats.
It's about them dollars and them cents and them change and that money.
Watch that.
I don't either. But if you owe and you get back in the ring, like if you want me to join, I used to run track. Mm-hmm. I still run, but to compete, you got to pay me some real good money to try to get my life back into shape to compete. If you owe and you about to get in the ring and get punched in the head again after being old and not training for years,
and this body feel like it used to.
Your body don't bounce back. You got an old body. Like no, it ain't.
He said you got an old body.
I mean, it's the truth. It ain't that much. I'm
low on cash. They're not getting back in the ring for the money. They say they get back in the ring because they feel like they have unfinished business.
My question is, as we
The
all
unfinished
age,
business is your bank account is low. Hey, you need to fill it up.
Hello.
Get some more money. That's what the unfinished business. Now your bank account is unfinished right now.
Where's the love button that on here?
so Deidre, you think it's money? Would y'all watch? Y'all gonna watch the fight?
No, I won't watch a fight anyway.
I don't like fighting. I think it's just barbaric.
I listen. If somebody gonna pay for the fight, I come over. I'll watch your fight on your TV. If you pay,
I don't like watching.
I can get it for free. I can actually get it for free, but I'm not going to watch it because I don't want to see two old men clunking together, knocking up, trying to hit each other. I don't want to see that.
That's just painful. That's painful.
Martin and Eddie Murphy was in. They was old. They was in jail. It was like that movie.
Life. That just sounds like a painful experience to watch.
But they're saying it's not for the money, it's for the passion. And my thought was, as we age, would you go back to do something that you didn't feel that you completed? Would you go back and do something from that you didn't feel that you completed in your youth? That's
how many times do you need to get knocked in the head? What kind of passion they looking for? I don't understand the passion to what? Get knocked out?
Somebody say Johanna say he crazy. Jackie says money.
Let me tell
it's all about the money.
We used to up in money.
We can't hear you. We can't hear you. You're on mute, baby.
I said it's definitely all about the money. It's not at that age. They're in, that's crazy.
Yeah, have several seats, man. Watch a TV show.
That's crazy. Right. You're trying to prove a point, but you're really going in there to get some money. You're not in there for the passion. Passion is like the cloak. The real deal is I need some dollars.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
dollars and cents.
Dollars make sense.
Well, it don't make sense. It don't make sense to me, but I'm just trying to see how this is going to be seriously taken. I think people are going to watch it just because they think it's going to be. I mean, I'm not no boxing fan, but this like a comedy. Come on, y'all. What are y'all plan on seeing some real skills in the boxing? That's what y'all looking for. I know that's not.
I love to see a good person get knocked out.
I
can't.
But not no old one, huh?
I don't want to see nobody get knocked out. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
I was just going from the angle. If you have something that you wanted to do, you were good at in your youth, and you didn't get a chance to complete it, would you?
I mean, you know what? I think I would but I probably wouldn't. So I was really good at track and field. I'm a runner and stuff like that. So I still do it. I run to this day. I run a minimum of 40 miles every month. And when it's summertime, I'm outside running, and I used to do all kind of, half marathons and stuff like that. But I was never at a level where I could compete. That's a whole nother thing. And I gotta get paid to do it, because it is a full-time job to get ready on that kind of level.
Absolutely.
And so it would be, I would only do it if I was going to get paid money for it, because otherwise I couldn't sustain the training and all that was needed to get into that kind of shape in order.
Well, they're going to get paid.
Okay,
they're going to get paid.
My passion for crafting. Yes, I'll go back to the passion of crafting, but boxing, no, that they need to sit down, get in the rocking chair, and spend time with
that old girl. Come on, sit down and get in the rocking chair.
They're not ready. They're not ready. But look, Camden wants to say goodbye because he's being extra. You want to say goodbye to everybody?
Bye, Cam.
Bye,
Precious.
Say see you later. He enjoyed himself, but now he's being selfish. So see y'all later. Have a good one.
All right, bye. Love you, Lisa. Thank you for getting on.
Y'all.
All right, But before we get off, I just want to ask one question to each one of you guys. Why is it so hard for women to ask for help? Tawan, why do you think it's so hard for us to ask for help?
For me, because I can't speak for anybody else, why it's so hard for me to ask for help is because growing up, I watched two strong women do it and I never saw them ask for help. So I was never taught to ask for help, that I need to go ask for help. It wasn't until I got into my adulthood and I needed some assistance and I got myself into a situation and was discussing it with my mother. And she said, "Why didn't you come to me?" I said, "Because I've always seen you do and make it happen. So I did to make it happen." She said, "You should have come and asked me for help."
Yeah. And the reason why I'm asking this question is because I posted this question the other day on my social media on Monday, and I got over 500 responses throughout my whole social media. And I asked 3 questions. Is it hard for you to say, "I'm sorry, I need help," or "I love you"? And by far, everybody was like, it was hard for me to say I need help. And it was a running thread that everybody said it's hard for me to ask for help. That's the reason why I want to end with this one. Kiki, why is it so hard for women to say I need help?
I mean, I just think that women in general have been, ultimately born to be confident and, responsible and just, that strong person and have that persona. So I think that when we ask for help, it seems like a sign of weakness. And Tanya said, afraid of rejection, like somebody's going to say, "Oh no," that kind of thing. But I learned over the years that I don't get anywhere without the help of other people. Like I just can't. And even if I'm going to end up looking stupid, I'd rather look stupid than to be out there and not ask, because the answer could be yes, right? I think a lot of times we as women, we also answer for people. So we don't ask for the help because we already assume that we know the answer, which is the wrong thing to do, because we might not know the answer. What if the answer is absolutely yes? And a lot of people don't get people asking them something. Therefore, they're like, "Oh, you actually did ask me? Absolutely, I'll do that." And then we're shocked because we're like, "Really? Yeah, no problem." A lot of people don't come to me and ask me that. Really? You think everybody is coming, when in actuality, we're not coming because we do fear that rejection, like Tanya said.
What, Deidre, why is it so hard for women to ask for help?
Well, for me, my thought process is, if they're not being paid, they're not going to do it the way I want them to do it. And even if they are being paid, we think that we can do it the best. We know how we want it done, and we're going to get it done. And there's no sense in asking for help because they're not going to do what we need to do. And then pride. Pride is another thing. It's just like, I ain't asking nobody for nothing. I'm just going to do it myself. Whether I'm knocked down, dead, whatever, I'm just going to do it myself. So there are 2 things.
Kim, why is it so hard for women to ask for help?
I think we all take on like the superwoman, and to ditto what everybody else has said, we also take on that superwoman, like mindset. I got this. I can do it all, and we watched women go before us that have made it look easy. Gail, you and I talk about it all the time when we think about our children and how we show them that life or marriage seems like so easy. There are no problems. We don't like discuss the challenges that may be going on with our spouses in front of them, and so they get into their stuff. They're like, "What? Wait,
yeah.
It didn't go like what my parents did." So we take that on, and like what Deirdre said, sometimes it's pride, or what Kiki said, like a fear of rejection. What if I ask and they say no? And like and like Kiki said, there are surprises when people say, "Oh, I'll do that." I would love to do that. I'm honored. We have so many thoughts in our heads about what they may say or may not say, that we're just like, what, forget it. I got this, and keep it moving. And we become the martyrs, and that sometimes makes us feel, they love it like that, and it could be to our detriment sometimes, because we're not asking. And then we've got so many friends and family and sisters that we could say, "Hey, I really need you to like lift me up. I need you to, can you roll up your sleeves with me and come over here and help me out?" And we're just afraid, fear and pride, and we got the superwoman thing going on.
Well, for me, why is it so hard for me to ask for help? Not now, but back then, it was um, I didn't want to relinquish control. I had to have control. I had to know exactly everything that was going on. And I want to say you guys helped me relinquish control, especially when it came to BSB, because y'all know how I am about that. I'm very, want to know. But I realized that I have a group of women around me that got my back, right? And I thank you guys for that. But for me, it was very, very hard for me to ask for help because I didn't want to relinquish control, and I didn't think somebody would value my stuff the way they value their stuff. Is that making sense? But I see that you guys value BSB and going to put your heart and soul in it. Like I would put heart and soul with with Tawan and Get Courageous with whatever, and Kim with her running and all her health and wellness, and Deidre with her, wise now. See, for me, I am a strong believer in sowing for what I want, and God surrounded me with women. For every seed that I sowed, He gave it back to me. So I believe that. So for me, it's not hard for me to ask for help now, but back in the day, it was because I had a control issue, a control. So I just wanted to end with that. And ladies, thank you so much for joining me tonight with Evening Tea with Gail. Y'all know I absolutely love this. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you had a great time hanging out with me and my girlfriends. I love you guys to pieces. We will see you next month with Evening Tea with Gail, but I will be here on Tuesday at 8 o'clock with Wife Chat. So I will see you guys. Love you guys. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.